Greetings, mortals. The Immortal One has a few things to get off his chest. Whether or not that be made sober, or whether that be made inebriated, is entirely up to you, Pacific ladies and gentlemen, to decide. That being said, I got some bullshit I personally want to get rid of. And we're going to start with the usual suspects, David and Godscope. David has a stupid fucking name in War Commander. I can never remember. I believe the name is Dark Shadows or some bullshit like that. And he knows he has betrayed me in some way, shape, or form. And so the uppance will come whenever the universe decides that that's a good idea.
I have dealt with David for many years.
And I thought he was good enough to take my position. Ironic, wouldn't you say, that not only did I think that David was good enough to take my position, I thought a whole bunch of other people in the first place that I had named producer of the show prior to my exit back in February of last year, when the last sort of what can you call it? Dr. Phil drunk rant was issued. No, that was never the way it was supposed to work. Venom, and only Venom, was to be given the spot in my shoes because he was the only one I trusted enough to deliver the show and deliver anything to my personal ability. Nobody in War Commander history would ever be able to deliver a show with my ability. Nobody. Not Data, not Dragon, not Dragon's Warrior, not Warrior's Dragon. Nobody can step on the Immortal One. Because the Immortal One did shows in a very specific way, had a very specific format, and nothing and nobody got in the way of the information that needed to be provided by hook or by crook from Kixeye to its community. The Immortal One was unfiltered. The Immortal One was unbiased. The Immortal One would only respond when and if it was absolutely necessary. But again, I can already divulge. This will be put in one of Dr. Phil's drunk rants. And although tonight, inebriated as I may be, I see everything. I see everything now as I see everything sober. Roy. Roy has been a friend of mine for a very long time. Whether he thinks about it or not, is entirely up to him. Me and Roy have known each other a very long time. And my support currently being with the Situation Room makes people uncomfortable. And the only thing I say to those particular people is allow yourself to feel comfortable with your discomfort, because that is not likely to change. After the decisions of War Commander Unshackled and the decisions of Battle of Vortex being two very completely separate situations, I would not expect to be welcomed on a BV Talk live show if there was a lot of money. I burnt my bridges with BV Talk Live a very long time ago. However, with War Commander Unshackled, the brand I built, the brand I sank more hours than any of you could ever realize, the amount of time that was put into shows like that alone before I even took the reins, for instance. Everything had a topic. And on BV, that's the thing that people don't realize. What we did on BV, what all of us did on BV, that's myself and Shadow Killer and Skipjack and anybody else that was privy to the BV shows, had the things to bring along with them. Whether it be the format of the show, whether it be the timing of the show, whether it be the little things that people want each and every fucking day, we delivered. Whether it be on the BV show, whether it be on the Unshackled show, whether it be on the Situation Room. The brand that doesn't... Okay, Godscope, you want to go fucking toe-to-toe with the Immortal One himself? I'm going to call you out like the bitch-ass motherfucker that you are. The brand that doesn't even talk about you, but you can't stop talking shit about. No, here's the fucking thing, you little piece of shit. You think you're so fucking big. I made you. I made you. I made you. Each and every little piece of you that you think you are, Mr. High and Mighty, Mr. Hey, you get off of my fucking cloud. I made you. I made you a public fucking face, you insignificant piece of shit. It doesn't matter that there is a game involved. This is personal. And I will settle it one way or the other. You made this personal. Not me. You made this personal. When you started kissing ass every fucking time. I've watched your shows over the last 6 months. You're sick of my crying. You're sick of my crying. Why don't you go and get banned again? I know all about you. You're an insignificant man and an insignificant piece of shit. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's all you will ever be. An insignificant piece of shit. Don't you dare try and fuck with whatever I want to do. I'm clean. You, on the other hand, my fat little friend, are not. You want to call this a Dr. Phil fucking rant? Then go all about it. If Godscope wants to spew his bile, then he can go right ahead and do so. He wants to bring up scanning accounts. All right. Let's go and scan accounts, shall we? Go on. You want to prove yourself to me? You prove yourself to me right fucking now. Because I have never scanned your account. I have never gone through your account. Because somebody else did it before me and said to me that you were clean. And in my judgment, I believed them. And in retrospect, that judgment is completely and totally fucking wrong. In retrospect, I should have gone through your fucking computer myself. You have the messages saying that I did. Please provide them. Provide them for me right fucking now. I intend to call you out. In fact, no, I'm already calling you out. If you have the messages saying that I said that you were clean, 100%, you provide them to me right fucking now. And without a shadow of a doubt, 200%, I know that you are wrong. And the message is that you've apparently sent me saying that you've been banned for language. I have no such messages. I would know these kind of fucking things. But no, because you are a producer of War Commander Unshackled, you think you are above everybody else. And I am here to tell you that you are wrong. And I don't give a fuck who listens. I don't give a fuck who watches. Whether it be you, whether it be David, whether it be somebody else pulling your fucking strings behind the scenes. I know everything that goes on. Because Unshackled, as far as it still belongs to Shadowkiller by name, that show belongs to me. And you butcher it each and every day that a War Commander, quote unquote, Unshackled, comes to life. It is butchered each and every day by pissant producers who have no idea who and what the fuck they are talking about. You want to piss me off, you son of a bitch? Congratulations. You've pissed me off. The Immortal One is not in a good mood. The Immortal One is beyond pissed off with everything that is going on. You see, this is the problem between producer and anybody else behind the scenes. Ignore him. He's drunk and butthurt. Oh, no. Senior Godscope, Brett, whatever the fuck you want to go by these days, I am 100% fucking sober. This is the point that you miss. And I have been waiting for my opportunity for a very, 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 very long time. I am angry. This is what you do not expect from somebody of my caliber. You do not expect anger. And I am angry for the very first time in a very long time. And you are pissing me off. You have provided no evidence. of your counter arguments. You have provided nothing at all in the slightest that would ever give me cause to believe anything either of you ever say. It doesn't matter whether I have been involved for 6 months or not. It doesn't matter. I can walk onto any show and know more about the fucking game than any of you will ever know. Any of you. If you want to talk about that, David, let's talk about me being quote unquote butthurt because you wouldn't let me on a show. Let's see. Who made you a producer of War Commander Unshackled in the first place? Oh, yeah, I did. Who said to me that the panel was full and there was no room for the immortal one? Oh, yeah, you did. Don't you fucking dare think you are so much of an egotistical son of a bitch that you will ever get away with fucking lying to me. You want to say that I'm no longer relevant? 6.5 fucking years working behind the scenes with Kixeye. I have been involved with Kixeye longer than fucking any of you. And how dare you assume for 1 fucking minute that I will ever let that go? You want to lie to me? Go ahead and fucking lie to me. You want to piss me off? Go ahead and piss me right the fuck off. Because I will come back one way or another, whether you like it or not, whether anybody that's pulling those little strings of yours behind my back will ever take it to heart. And here's the thing. Yes, I've gotten angry. Yes, I'm annoyed. Yes, I'm sick of the bullshit. Yes, David, I'm sick of you. Godscope, I'm sick of you. And I'm sick of every stupid motherfucker who thinks I'm not relevant. Because anybody who would ever tell you about me is wrong. And 100% matter of fact, I support who I will support. And you can say it doesn't matter that Red Steel was right about me and this and that and everything else. Oh, Red Steel. Oh, Red Steel. Oh, my heart fucking bleeds, mate. My heart fucking bleeds. Oh, I feel so betrayed because you brought up Red Steel. I think I'm going to cry. No. For 1 second, if you had any intelligence at all, you would have never needed to bring him up in the first place. He might be right about me, that I'm a drunk motherfucker and I'm this and I'm that and I'm everybody else. And I sound like Logan Paul because you have no other evidence to back yourselves from. You are backed up into a corner and you have nothing else to go from. You have nothing else to go from at this point in time. And you know I'm right. Godscope's a whiny, crying little bitch. And David's not much different. There is no difference between the two of them. You can, it's all the evidence I need. Oh, fucking didn't. Where. Phil is doing this because he did a video. Phil is doing this because he did something else. And Phil offended me because Phil told you the fucking truth. That Godscope's a little bitch, and David's a little bitch, and War Commander Unshackled isn't half of what it was without me being there to prop it up. any show that requests my presence, any show, whether it be BV, whether it be Unshackled, whether it be the Situation Room, requires my validation. And my validation to anybody is worth more than gold pressed latinum. All of it is worth more than gold pressed latinum. My validation of any one show, of anybody, of any producer, of any show, of anything, is worth more than gold pressed latinum to somebody who can use it in the right way. And none of you, not one single person is worthy of the Immortal One's validation to run a show in the correct manner that it should be run today. And you can go ahead and tell me that I'm drunk. And you can go ahead and dismiss the fact that, oh, Phil's drunk again, and Phil's done this, and Phil said that, and Phil hurt my fucking feelings. Boo friggity who. Phil doesn't care. This is from the Immortal One to everybody else that sits on this platform and expects to get anywhere. You will not get the support of the Immortal One if you so desire it. If you ask the Immortal One, hey, Doc, can you come on the show? Can you discuss X, Y, and Z? I will do so. I will discuss X, Y, and Z until I'm blue in the fucking face without the necessary shite that is going on behind me and thinks that they can go on behind my back without my knowledge that Phil is crying and Phil is doing this and Phil is doing this and Phil is doing a whole bunch of other shit behind people's back. No, it ends. And it ends today. I have done this once before, 6 months ago. And you know what happened? The truth got me fired from War Commander Unshackled. A year before that, the truth got me fired from Battle Vortex. Because I did not agree with its progression. I don't agree with Unshackled's progression. I don't agree with Unshackled's progression. I don't agree with Battle Vortex's progression either. Where does that leave me? Oh, where does that leave me? That only leaves me with one place. That currently I am welcome with open arms each and every time I decide to turn up. That happens to be the Situation Room. Me and Roy have had our differences in the past, but time is time to me. The past is in the past. If you can let it go and move forward, everything will be in balance. And what I see at this moment in time has no balance to it at all. Not on Unshackled's side, and not on Battle Vortex's side either. There is no balance because there are grudges held against me for my opinions and what I say, and people being people. You can't expect somebody to have an open mind to the factor that I do. It's never going to happen. It never will happen. Open minds are something to be cherished when they are found. An open mind is to be loved when it is found. And no more and no less should it ever be. The Immortal One has decreed at this point in time that he has had enough. If my support is necessary, for one particular show, then they will have it. If it is asked for in the right way. But turning around and saying to me, Godscope, David, the two of you specifically, that I have called out on numerous occasions and you've yet to provide me with any legitimate answers at all. The two of you. David, I am ashamed of you right now. Because when I left Unshackled back in February, 6 months ago, almost 7, I said to you, what did I say to you? To do me proud and to do what I could not. And yet, you failed to do that. You failed to honor my request to do better than what I could do. You failed me. And that is something that will not be forgotten. Now, when it comes to the Situation Room, I have seen every War Commander Unshackled show, every BB show, and every Situation Room show for the last 6 months. Because I make it a point to know the competition. Now, if I decided to come back and do another show, strictly for the Immortal One, from the Immortal One's point of view, to everybody that would decide to appear on that show, I would have unanimous, and I'm talking unanimous here, and if you don't know what the word unanimous means, you really need to go look it up in the dictionary. But I would have unanimous support across the board. Whether you like me or you don't. Whether you find it difficult to accept my opinion or find it easy to challenge me. It wouldn't be an issue for me. That shit never is. It never has been. But there would be precedents for dealing with an issue like that. I have put it forward many, many times that if people don't like my opinion, they should tell me as much. And they should say to me, Phil, we don't like what you're saying. We don't agree with any of it. And yet, that never happens. Or rather, when it does, and there are always the ridiculous... Excuse me. Sorry, I misplaced my headphones for a second there. When it does happen, you get the same set of people that come forward. And if you can repeat yourself in a way that is acknowledgeable by somebody of my intellect, and repeatedly say the same things, then I would be more inclined to take it to matter. You can get into KXL. You can get into chats with whoever the fuck you like at the end of the day. Nothing is of any importance to me. Nothing of it whatsoever. I have given Kixeye what for on multiple occasions, and I have no intention of discussing them ever again. However, the people involved, on the other hand, are two very different things. Because there are some people that are involved with Kickscythe that I care a great deal about. There are. And there have been for many years that I have cared a great deal for. And yet, because of the affiliation and because of how and why they are connected to the company, I have to send them by the wayside each and every time. There is not one person that could ever fill my shoes. There never has been, there never will be, because I am unique. My opinions are unique. I am that guy. The guy that some people would love more to hate than anything else. And that's fine by me. I've always played upon that. I always have. You're not expected to enjoy anything I have to say. You're not expected to like it. You're not expected to hate it. You're not expected to dislike it. But when you've got guys like fucking Godscope, who, by the by, I never chose to produce a show because they would make it about themselves, and he has done successfully, might I add. He has made it about himself, and yes, I do see every show. Whether it be BV, whether it be Unshackled, or whether it be the Situation Room, I see, hear, and absorb absolutely everything. And the little things always matter. Every comment, every post, every sarcastic comment, every ridiculousness, every whine, every bitch, every moan, everything is seen by me. Retired I may be, but I do not appreciate everything that is going on. And it's funny that they bring Shadow into the light after so long. And it takes somebody with a brain to pull you into this. I don't do the shows because it was forced upon me not to do the shows. It's as simple as that. If it was still mine, as it should have been, as it always has been, you would not be in the position that you are in today. And I won't let them have it. I refuse to let them draw themselves off the backs of people that they don't deserve to be anywhere near. Shadow, you and I have been friends for a very, very long time. I refuse to let them draw off you as they would draw off me. And I refuse to let that be the case. I know more about this game than anybody else
will ever know.
Whether I be retired or not is something completely different. Whether I not play is something else. It doesn't take that long and too much reading for me to be able to catch up within seconds, because I have that capability that others don't. I can say it with 100% certainty that Roy and the Situation Room do their absolute best. BV is dying. BV War Commander is the only show that Battle Vortex have left in the kick size genre, and the day that dies, the better off everybody will be. And we all know that to be true. When Unshackled lost me, it lost its charm. It did. That's as much as I am willing to forgo this further than it already needs to be. Unshackled lost me. I have a 6-digit ID number. In fact, I have a 3-digit ID number when it comes to War Commander. Whether or not I play for the extended period of time that it was, I still have it. People came to Unshackled to listen, to learn, to understand. Even before I ran the shows, people came to Unshackled to listen, to learn, and to understand. And most of that came from you, and it came from me. And the analytics these days, it may show Unshackled as the top because I know how that shit works. You know I know how that shit works. David isn't a producer. He never should have been producer. But guess who put him into that position in the first place? I did. Venom. Who put him in that position in the first place? I did. Dutch, to an extent. Who put him in that position in the first place? Oh, yeah, I did. Because I took over the day-to-day running of Unshackled. I did that. Making everything as smooth running as possible. When it came down to the day-to-day operation, it all came down to me. All of it. Even in the short time I was running Battle Vortex on the War Commander side, it came down to War Commander, it came down to everybody. In the very short amount of time that it was available, Shadow, you and I could have this discussion all day. We really could. But I'm not about that discussion because it's not up for a debate. We both know who and what is where. You're damn right I'm making this about me. David, you have fucking nothing. You have nothing to say of any relevance after the day you blatantly lied to my face and then tried to make up an excuse for it afterwards. You've got fucking nothing. Your opinion weighs lower than anybody else that I've ever encountered in my existence. There is one thing that you do not do. One thing and one thing only. And I have made this perfectly clear 100 fucking times. Never, ever lie to me. I have never lied to the community. Not once. And any mistakes that I have ever made have been brought forward and addressed. Whether it be by one attrition or another. You can warn me not to use your real name 1,000 fucking times. Calling you by your first name isn't doxing. If I decided to call you by your complete name, your first and your surname would be doxing, then it would be. You can warn me 100 fucking times and nothing would be done, nothing would ever change, and the same things would be said, regardless of your objection. I will have my time. Because it's about fucking time that all of the bullshit became public for everybody to hear. I'm outside of the loop. And yet, the set of people that are now put on high, because that's the way producers work, when you produce anything, you are put on high for everybody to have a bloody good look at. And be as proud as you like. Because this is not only is it the opinion of a single individual, it is the fact of the matter that everything I have fought for and everything I have done has been for nothing. All of it is for nothing. Each and every single decision that I have ever made has been for nothing. You can laugh as much as you fucking want, David. I don't give a fuck. You are nothing to me. I think that being producer of a show makes me all high and mighty. Oh, my heart bleeds. It really does. My heart is bleeding all over the place because one little pissant thinks he's better than me. And I know it. And I know you think you're better than me. But life doesn't work that way. And eventually the universe will show you. Whether it be by one thing or something else, You will learn. You will learn. One way or the other, whether you like it or not, you will come to me for advice, for guidance, because it is the order of things. And you know just as well as I do, the order of the universe is not so easily dissuaded. At the end of the day, judgment will fall at my feet and nobody else's. Because judgment will always fall at the feet of those who matter most. The insignificance will be nothing compared to the judgment of the immortals. I have done and said enough in the last few years. And we're not going on anything I've said in the last 6 months. We're going on everything I have ever said. Judgment will be down to universal preparation and nothing more. If the universe decides that there will be no more shows, then that is the order of things, and it will be respected like nothing else. If it is the judgment of the universe to put me in the position that I am in right now, to promote one over the other, then I will take that path, whether it be liked or disliked. The universe and I have a very special bond. And we have had a special bond for as long as I have existed. It will be one or the other. And where the tides of fortune take us, no one could ever find out, let alone know, even more so understand. Make jokes about me needing another drink. I don't care. Please make all the alcoholism jokes that you want to make. Because if it requires you to make jokes, then you have no substance. The truth is a difficult pill to swallow. And if it requires that the lesser brained mortal men require the thinking practice, then by all means do so. The immortal is beyond your terminology. The immortal is beyond your matter of fact. The immortal is beyond your facts before you even existed. From one to the next, there will be no other to replace anything that I have ever said, that I have ever done, that I have ever set out to do. One more thing. one more little thing. Don't test the immortal. I have said it once and I have said it again. Don't test the immortal. My wrath is unfounded. The revenge is uncalculable. And that is all. So I end with the usual. Enjoy life. The free world. Never take a moment for granted. And make the most of every day. Peace.